name is Sister Melanie Matska. I'm the Executive Director. Basically, we've worked with the Hispanic community for a number of years, and when people would come to the area and looked for help, they would oftentimes go to the church. The problem with being at church is that many times we didn't have the answers.
And I had an experience where a couple of young men, probably your age, came to the door. I was pastor of St. Wilbrad's at that time, and they started talking to me, but I didn't know what they were talking about. And it turned out that they were two young men who'd come up on the rails from Mexico, and they had no food, they had no clothes, they had nothing here. And so I was thinking about that, and I said, gee, we could do something about that.
When Father Ken retired, we talked with the Hispanics who were there at the time about what would people want. And they said it would be great to have a neutral site, a center that they could go to where they feel safe, where they could ask questions, they could walk in the door and not be afraid that someone's going to look at them funny because they're speaking Spanish, and just a place they could call a second home. So that's how that came to be.
Well, there are many services. As I said, when people come, what might be, we have immigration lawyers that come here every week to help them with different things about immigration. We have other lawyers from the city that come once a month. The district attorney comes at least twice a month to meet with them and for difficulties that they're having. We have a GED program in Spanish for those who want to get the degree but don't speak English well enough to study in English. And so we have that GED program in Spanish. Well, Casa is home or house, home, and Alba is an acronym.
So the group decided to call it Alba, which means dawn. And then that became an acronym for Asociación Latina de Bienestar y Ayuda. And in English, it's Association for Latino well-being and assistance. We emphasize the B.
What we try to ultimately do is try to make Green Bay community more accepting, a friendlier community where people can get along. When we first started at St. Wilbrad's, there was about only 10 or 12 families, Hispanic families in town. But that was a long time ago. And now there's probably 25,000 Hispanics in this area. And so our basic goal is trying to integrate them into the community, trying to make the community a better community, trying to get people to understand different cultures. Hopefully, ultimately, this will happen. But there's no other organization that works in all areas with all the Hispanics.
What we're finding right now is the climate in our country is really so negative and so anti-immigrant, and that really worries me. And yet I look at people who struggle and who suffer and who are concerned, who still have a lot of hope, and they're still going to come forward and share their talents. And I think that's the pride of Casa Alba, is the people.
You go to our website. We have a website that's up to date and kept up to date. We have a person that works on that regularly. You also could come and visit us, come and see what we do here. We're always welcoming people to come and see what's happening here. We're at 314 South Madison Street in Green Bay. It's right across the street from the YWCA. My hope down the road is we won't need this anymore, that people will all get together, all get along with each other. There won't be the discrimination and the prejudice that exists today. That's the ultimate hope, but I think we're quite a long ways from that goal at the present time.
My dream is that it keeps growing, and that the richness of the people who are here really expands that.
Again, I always say to people, have difficulties understanding, for instance, why some of them are here undocumented, for instance. My advice always is to get to know them. If they are your neighbors, go and talk with them, because once you get to know them, you're going to change your opinion of them. It won't be negative, it'll be positive.
The hopes and dreams of the Latinos gets to be fulfilled to the nth degree.